My boyfriend transferred me a fortune, then flew off to find his White Moonlight. I took the breakup fee and disappeared, using it to party with male models. Now he's dragging me out of a club, roaring that it wasn't a breakup fee. It was my birthday present. Please listen to the story. Before flying abroad to find his White Moonlight, my boyfriend, Julian Shen, transferred a huge amount of money into my account. The note simply said, "Live well." I instantly understood. This must be the breakup fee. I didn't ask questions or try to cling on. I took the money and quietly disappeared from his world. 2 weeks later, Julian stormed over and pulled me out of the arms of a male model. He crossed his arms, narrowing his eyes at me. His voice was lazy yet dripping with sarcasm. "Well, well, Grace John. Quite impressive." I forced a laugh and shrugged. "Isn't it, thanks to your generous breakup fee?" He fell silent for a few seconds, then suddenly roared like thunder. "Breakup fee my ass, that was your birthday present. Here's what happened. What woke me up this morning wasn't my alarm, not some lofty ideal, and certainly not a morning kiss from my boyfriend, but a bank account notification." I groggily opened my eyes and started counting the zeros in the transfer amount. The more I counted, the more my sleepiness vanished. My hand trembled as I tapped the transaction details. The note had just 4 words: "Live well." My mind went blank for a few seconds. The pillows next to me were cold. There wasn't a trace of Julian anywhere. Based on my years of reading overbearing CEO novels, I was almost certain I had just been dumped, but it wasn't surprising. When we first got together, I knew this day would come sooner or later. Julian, a rich young master. Flirtatious but never faithful. And he was known to be extremely generous to his ex-girlfriends. When breaking up, he threw money around like autumn leaves. Today, I finally got to experience it myself. It was time to be sensible and disappear from his life. But my hand still instinctively opened our pinned chat conversation. It seemed I still wasn't completely resigned to it. Not resigned to how love could vanish overnight. Was all the tenderness from last night fake? The whispered words, the embraces, the promises he made. "I will witness and share every important moment of your life with you." Was that also fake? As I was spacing out, a new message popped up on the screen. "Did you get it?" Before I could reply, he sent another. "Sorry, I can't be there this time. You can choose a place you like, decorate it in the style you want, and take your time finishing it." I typed "why" then deleted it. Did I not do something well enough? Deleted again. "Can we please not break up? I'm begging you." Deleted. I kept typing and deleting, ultimately sending nothing. A long time later, Julian called me directly. His voice was as lazy as usual. "Are you trying to write a dissertation?" "Don't bother, not necessary." Hearing the airport announcement broadcast in the background, my heart skipped a beat. "Where are you?" The airport. I gripped the phone tightly as a terrifying suspicion flashed through my mind. My voice suddenly turned hoarse. "You're flying to France." He chuckled. "Smart." My heart instantly went cold. People always said Julian had an unforgettable, deep love in France. As long as that White Moonlight beckoned, he would drop everything to run to her side. And I was the thing being dropped. Before hanging up, Julian even reminded me that today was my first day of work and not to be late. How strange. We'd broken up, but he still remembered his ex-girlfriend's work schedule. I counted the zeros in my account again, breathed a sigh of relief, and consulted my best friend, Mia, who was drowning in studying for the bar exam. She confirmed the money couldn't be reclaimed. So, I decisively quit my job, blocked Julian's number, changed my SAM card, and moved out of my apartment. It all happened in one breath. I was very self-aware. A qualified ex-girlfriend should disappear from the world as if she never existed. No contact, no lingering, and absolutely no looking back. At least, not for Julian, who hated clingy types. He didn't just dislike it, he despised it. So, no matter how much I missed him, I couldn't make a scene. I couldn't cry, and I certainly couldn't destroy the last shred of a good impression he might have of me. All I could do was continue buying coffee at full price, wearing daily contacts instead of makeup, and not even daring to use discount codes when ordering takeout. Damn it. Why was this money impossible to spend? I spent a little every day, but before I could make a dent, the interest had already multiplied. As someone from a poor family who suddenly struck it rich, I was baffled. I had no idea how to spend money extravagantly. I searched online for what lottery winners do. It was all buy cars, invest in real estate, stocks, mutual funds. All ways to make more money. Not a single word about luxury spending. How is human greed so bottomless? Don't they know when enough is enough, or how to enjoy life? 2 minutes later, I started researching safe, high-yield, low-risk investments. After reading for a while, my head was spinning from all the financial jargon. Dizzy, I tossed my phone aside. Forget it. I can't earn money beyond my own comprehension. Besides, in almost every article, investing in a house was listed first, which annoyed me a little. I remembered the day I got my first job offer. I excitedly treated Julian to dinner, bragging to him, one step closer. I'm the eldest daughter in my family with 2 younger brothers. After my brothers started elementary school, I was forced to give up my room and sleep on the balcony. 2 folding screens served as the walls of my bedroom, failing to hide my cramped and awkward situation. My parents were nonchalant about it, saying it was convenient for monitoring me to make sure I wasn't dating and ruining my studies. Anyway, daughters get married off. No need to keep a separate room for them. After the nth time my brother accidentally saw me changing, I became determined to have my own house. A bedroom should be a bedroom, a balcony is just a balcony. After listening, Julian was silent for a long time, then nodded gently. You will. He then asked me what my next goal was. Not knowing any better, I naively replied, to raise a bunch of cats and dogs with Julian in that little house. He laughed. Thinking back now, maybe he wanted to break up even then. He was just standing there laughing at my pipe dream. At that thought, I rolled over and buried my face in the pillow. The post-breakup pain was more intense than I expected. I was just about to look for a vacation spot to unwind when Mia called. Boo-hoo, my rich sugar mommy, please support me. I don't want to work hard anymore. I decided to wait until she finished her 2 exams so we could go out and party together. Every day, I supervised her waking up to study, chatted with her in my free time, and even researched some brain-boosting recipes to feed her. I don't think I miss him as much as before anymore. I sighed to Mia late one night. She sleepily mumbled, that's normal. Less than a minute later, I was biting my blanket and whimpering, but I still miss him. Having money is great, but I want both the money and him. Am I being too greedy? Her voice was at the absolute limit of drowsiness. Totally understandable. So if I refriended him and shamelessly begged him to take me back, is there any chance? Maya was silent for a few seconds, then took a deep breath. Can you have some dignity? You have money and time now. You can have any kind of fun you want. Stop pining for that sugar daddy who never revisits old flames. I burrowed under the covers, my voice muffled. Tomorrow I'll reinstall the game and flirt with 18 guys at once. Mia didn't say anything else. A moment later, she slithered over to me, gritted her teeth, and pinched my cheek. Snap out of it. The game is full of little kids and guys with brightly dyed hair. Forget it. Wait till I'm done with exams. I'll take you out to broaden your horizons. Broaden my horizons. Does she mean handsome guys, gigolos, or real players? I've seen that before. During my first year dating Julian, I went to a birthday party his friends threw for him. At the karaoke bar, every dark corner was filled with scantily clad handsome men and beautiful women. The men weren't as handsome as Julian, and their bodies weren't as good either. Their only redeeming quality was their sweet talk, every word dripping like honey. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear much before Julian dragged me home, his face dark as thunder. I was then forced to listen to his sarcastic remarks all night, mixed with an intense possessiveness I'd never seen before. But why is the one who burned so brightly at first also the first one to grow cold? It's cruel. Unable to sleep, I ended up reinstalling the game anyway. It was a good way to kill time and distract myself. Under the covers, the light from my phone screen was blinding. I squinted, waiting for the interface to load, clicked through a ton of welcome back gifts and events, and then opened my friends list. As soon as I looked, I immediately saw a new message from S. Replay when you see this. It was dated 6 days ago. The last message before that was from 4 years ago, when I told him I had to get serious about life and wouldn't be playing games anymore. He had only replied, wishing you a lifetime of happiness. This guy, oh, I remember now. The summer after my college entrance exams, I used to work as a game booster to earn living expenses. S was a jungler I met in a random match. We added each other and started playing together. After he found out I was boosting for money, he directly booked all my time. Later, I found another part-time job and stopped boosting, but I still logged on occasionally to play with him. It's been so long, why would he suddenly message me? Could it be he still remembers my skills? Or is he planning to ask for a refund after 4 years? I clearly made him swear on his life back then that he was an adult and wouldn't ask for his money back. The next morning, the first thing I did when I woke up was check the chat. Still no new messages. He probably sent it by mistake. I was about to exit when his gray profile picture suddenly lit up. Almost at the same time, a new message popped up. Where did you disappear to? I froze. Was he asking what I've been doing all these years? Studying, falling in love, finding a job, and becoming single again. Single. He seemed very surprised. I found it a bit hard to explain. To say I wanted to live seriously, tried dating Julian for 3 years, only to be heartlessly dumped in the end. It was too embarrassing. But I still replied obediently, it's normal. Got bored of love, so we broke up. The other side replied quickly, bored? Who got bored? Why bored? Thinking about how just 1 week ago I was foolishly imagining our future, I sighed. Nothing lasts forever in this world. It's just because I was too stupid. The word stupid was censored by the system. I changed it to, I was too naive. Naive was also censored. I kept editing. I changed it to, I made a fool of myself. After typing fool, I paused for a moment, suddenly overwhelmed by a terrible heartache. In the end, I just sent one phrase. It was me. I got bored first. When I saw him send a string of question marks, I felt even worse. What's so strange? Who sticks with just one man for their entire life? Biting my lower lip, I continued with the harsh words. There's never enough hot, young, loyal guys. The other side was silent for a long time. So long that I nodded off to sleep. When I woke up, I only saw a faint smile emoji and 3 words. Good for you. I don't know what was so good about it, but at least the days spent with Mia studying weren't so boring anymore. It was like going back 3 years, the two of us queuing up for matches together. Back then, I'd have me mic on, chatting idly while we played, and he would just silently type his replies. Now, I had to keep my mic off, afraid of disturbing Mia while she studied. He was the one who turned his mic on, but he didn't say anything, just silently playing with me until the 3rd match. Suddenly, a deep voice came through the headset. Come get the blue buff. I froze mid-river. It wasn't until an assassin jumped out from nowhere and flattened me that I snapped out of it. Ah, sorry. He paused for a moment, then chuckled softly. Sorry for what? It's so similar, really similar, but his tone seems a bit deeper. I hesitated, then typed. Your voice sounds exactly like my ex-boyfriend's. The other side suddenly became sarcastic. Oh, should I turn my mic off then? Didn't you get bored of him? No need. Just keep talking. As soon as I sent it, I remembered something, but my typing speed couldn't keep up with my character's respawn timer. So I had to delete the sentence I was about to send. So his muteness is cured. I once heard S caused an accident that severely injured his best friend, leaving them disabled. After that incident, he suffered from such severe psychological trauma that he couldn't speak for a long time. He can communicate normally now, so he must have overcome it. Thinking this, I didn't want to dig up old wounds. In the middle of the game, Mia suddenly hugged me tightly, sobbing. I don't want to take the exam anymore. Boo-hoo, maybe I should just go find a job. I split my focus to comfort her, only to have her pinch my cheek and grit her teeth. Is the game more important, or am I? Are these boys more important, or am I important? I surrender. Since we were losing anyway, I decisively hit the surrender button. Surrendering just like that. Yeah, getting off. So urgent. Got something to do. Got a clingy creature that needs comforting. Oh. New boyfriend. Why did his tone sound so grating? I frowned and quickly typed, I'll be back on later. He wouldn't let it go. What time later? You're not lying, are you? You promised. You have to keep your word, I'll be waiting. I took off my headset, and the world instantly went quiet. But a strange feeling surfaced in my heart. Both the voice and the intonation were strangely identical. I had a big meal with Mia, and afterward, we walked around to digest. As we passed an unremarkable storefront, she suddenly, let's come here next week. Okay, but what is this place? This is the most high-end club in H City, top-tier quality. I understood. She still remembered her promise to broaden my horizons. It really wasn't necessary. I still wasn't over Julian and had zero interest in other men. You should focus on your exams first. After you're done we can go out. But, she shook my arm. It's your birthday next week. I had completely forgotten about that. For the past 2 years I'd celebrated my birthday with Julian. Now that we'd broken up, the thought just felt empty. Come on, let's go. It'll be so cold just the two of us at home. Going out is more fun. The word together stabbed me right in the heart, but I held my ground. I shook my head. I don't like those kinds of places. She couldn't convince me and finally gave up. We went for a late night snack instead. By the time we got home it was past 10 p.m. He's probably not online at this hour, right? As soon as I logged in, I saw his icon was lit up. Before I could even open the chat, a party invitation popped up. I spoke first. Sorry. Something came up so I'm late. The other side didn't answer. I only heard slightly ragged breathing. Mech not working. It's been too long. S paused, his voice sounding a bit strained. It's been a long time since I heard your voice. It really had been a long time. I glanced at the bathroom and said, "My friend is showering. I can use my mic now, but I'll have to turn it off later." As soon as I finished, the other end seemed to stop breathing entirely. "Is your connection lagging? How can we even play like this?" I was already a bit tired and was about to suggest we play tomorrow when S spoke in a cold voice. "You really found someone new. You work fast. I'm not interrupting, am I?" I couldn't ignore that harsh tone. Men really only understand other men. Whether I found someone new or not, what did it have to do with him? It wasn't his place to be indignant on Julian's behalf, but when I opened my mouth I was honest. "No new guy, it's my best friend. She's studying for exams." S was quiet for a long moment. A distinct sigh came through the headset. "Oh, a female friend." He paused, then asked, "A city? I know people there." "A city is my hometown." How did he know that? On second thought, it wasn't surprising. We chatted every day that summer. I must have mentioned it. I just didn't expect him to have such a good memory. "H city." His voice mingled with the sound of typing. "There aren't many exam rooms there. Did you book a room in advance?" "No need. We live really close." I snapped my mouth shut, realizing he was just a stranger. I warily changed the subject. "Are we playing or not? If not, I'm logging off. It's late. Go to bed early." "Don't go." He called me back. "Let's talk for another 5 minutes." "Talk about what?" "Talk about how to keep you from getting bored." I really wanted to ask Julian that same question. How to keep a relationship fresh and prevent it from fading. I didn't have the answer myself, but since I'd already opened my mouth, I had to invent a standard reply. "Good looks. Great body, provides enough emotional value, and his skills also have to be good." "Am I?" He cleared his throat, his tone a bit stiff. "Isn't he good enough? In every aspect, he was perfect, impossible to fault." If I kept talking I'd slip up. I racked my brain and stammered, He gained weight." It wasn't a lie. Nearing graduation, Julian and I moved in together. We spent more time together, and whenever he was free, he'd stick to me. The six-pack was still there, but it clearly wasn't as defined as before. "Oh." The other side was silent for exactly 10 seconds, then I heard the rustling of fabric. When he spoke again, his voice was stiff. "Log off. Go to sleep." I looked at the clock. It hadn't even been 5 minutes. "I have to go to the gym. Urgently." I was baffled. Men are truly incomprehensible. Going to the gym in the middle of the night. My girlfriend ran off. I have to work hard to get her back. I froze and mumbled an "oh." So he suddenly looked me up because he just went through a breakup too. No, wait. Does that even make sense? I corrected my tone, speaking seriously. "That's pretty crappy of you. If you want to get back together with her, then be serious about it. Why are you finding someone else to duo with and kill time? That's not right." "What about you?" He suddenly cut me off. "Aren't you also killing time with a strange man right now?" "Playing duo is pretty ambiguous, you know." I choked, my face burning. "I'm not like you. I've made a clean break with my ex." To maintain my image, I muttered under my breath. "Besides, if I really wanted to have fun I'd have gone to the high club already." His voice immediately pitched higher. "You'd go to a club to play?" I was a bit dazed. That sounded exactly like something Julian would ask. Thinking about how he was probably happy with his White Moonlight right now, maybe even starting a new relationship. I bit my lower lip and angrily raised my voice. "That's right. I go every day and call over 8 guys." My friend Mia couldn't understand why I'd changed my mind after just one shower, but she was thrilled. Even her motivation to study for exams seemed to increase. On my birthday she gave me a super short dress. I hesitated several times. Wanting to say something, but held back. After all, we were going out to spend money on eye candy. Dressing up this much felt like I was paying to please someone else. But then I saw Mia looking at me expectantly, twisting her fingers, her expression anxious. "You don't like it, Gracie. I spent so long picking it out. I really think it suits you." I immediately nodded like a chicken pecking rice. I love it, I absolutely love it." My friend's feelings were what mattered most. Being a buzzkill is a cardinal sin. Besides, it was just being stared at by a few men I didn't like. I'd just endure it for a bit. "Yeah, that's right." Then I sat down for less than 2 minutes and realized I was truly just pretending. I was hit straight in the face by so much beauty I couldn't tell east from west. Slim waists. Broad backs, sharp, chiseled faces that looked like sculptures under the dim, reddish-purple light. My rationality completely evaporated in the scent of perfume, cigars, and an atmosphere overflowing with young hormones. "Ma'am, should we open a few more bottles of Ace of Spades?" "Open 10. Mom, you're wearing so little, aren't you cold? Would you like to put on a jacket?" I happily draped a set of toned abs and a solid chest onto my back. I had a man leaning on my left, one on my right, and one hugging me from behind. My whole body was drowning in such intense waves of hormones that I felt dizzy. A glass of cold ice cream was held in front of me. Mom, let me feed you. The young man lightly bit the tip of the spoon and leaned in close. His floral perfume mingled with his body heat, wafting over my face like the entire spring season. The taste of sake and creamy ice cream spread in my mouth. I must be a little drunk, otherwise why would I suddenly think of Julian? In this happy atmosphere. His gloomy face was completely out of place. I even thought I heard an illusion of his voice, dripping with sarcasm. Grace is really living it up, huh? She really is. I savored the ice cream, smacking my lips. I want more. Feed me another bite. The next bite never came. It was snatched away by a hand. A man who looked just like Julian was standing right in front of me, staring as he slowly put the spoon into his own mouth. Damn it. That one bite was 50 yuan. He ate my bite. Pay me back. Wait, did I order this one? My mind was foggy, trying to think. Suddenly, my cheeks were lifted. His cold palm and fingertips touched my skin, making me shiver. The man spoke in a deep, hoarse voice. Didn't you want to be fed? No, not like that. Even though I had opened the door to a new world tonight, I hadn't opened it this far. But my reflexes were too slow. Before I could close my mouth, the cold taste of ice cream flooded onto my tongue. He paused for a second and forcefully deepened the kiss. My head was buzzing. Damn it, who are you, stealing a client like this? The complaints from the other guys around me faded away. In my chest, there was only the heavy thud of my heart. I was clearly still sitting in the lap of a handsome guy, but I felt my body temperature plummet. This wasn't good. This man. I struggled to push him away, but he gave my earlobe a light pinch and my whole body sobered up instantly. Julian and I had kissed countless times. This little habit of his was all too familiar. Focus my ass. What the hell was he doing here? Finally, my best friend Mia managed to pull Julian away. She was completely drunk, slurring her words. What's your number? So undisciplined. When she got a clear look at his face, her expression went blank. Huh. She looked at me, then back at Julian. Gracie, I must be too drunk. I'm even seeing your ex-boyfriend. Haha. Julian, his face expressionless, turned and gave an order. Take her home. Supervise her studies. She's not allowed to sleep until she gets 80% accuracy. What right do you have to torture her? I tried to stand up and protest, but I was still held tightly by the handsome guy behind me, unable to move. I ended up plopping back down onto the sofa. The guy let out a soft groan, his voice soft and drawn out. Mom, I want more. One more time. Julian's face instantly turned black. A black card was thrown onto the table. His voice was like ice. Get lost. The farther the better. The source of heat behind me immediately vanished. Not just behind me, but the guys on both sides. In fact, all the handsome men within my line of sight disappeared so fast they left after images. I sat there dumbfounded. A jacket, still warm, was thrown over my head. Put it on. The sofa cushion sank as Julian sat down right next to me. The chill radiating from him cut through the thick scent of perfume in the air. I clutched the jacket, slowly regaining my senses. Why did this feel exactly like being caught cheating red-handed? I tried to scoot away but couldn't move. A large hand clamped around my waist, and his sharp, aggressive face leaned in close. Want to leave? The night is still young. I'll play with you. He glanced over the table of drinks, his lips curling. After all, you ordered so much, it would be a waste not to enjoy it, right? Grace. Zhang. He emphasized every syllable of my name. Even in my hazy state, I could sense his suppressed rage. I suddenly felt a pang of guilt. What was this? We broke up. Why was he acting like he could control who I partied with? This was ridiculous. It's not like I was controlling him. So, tell me, how do you want to play? He grabbed my wrist and forced my hand under his shirt, pressing it against his solid abs. You were touching so eagerly just now. Why'd you stop? A fruit platter was pushed in front of me. Which one do you want to eat? I'll feed you. Not hungry. Already full. Or maybe you want to throw some of it up so you can eat more. I shrank back. Julian, I'm a bit tired. I want to go home. Home. He scoffed, as if I'd told a joke. You've thrown all your money in this place. It seems to me you don't really want a home. I had no idea what he was talking about. Was he angry that I'd used his breakup money to party with other men? For someone as possessive as Julian, that probably was going too far. He must be livid. I giggled nervously, trying to soften my tone. Well, isn't it because you were so generous? He pointed at himself, incredulous. Do I look generous to you? I nodded frantically like a chicken pecking rice. Generous, very generous. The breakup money you gave me is even enough to buy a house. He was silent for a long time, his expression hesitant. Breakup money? What breakup money? I don't remember giving you any of that. Shit, he's not gonna ask for it back, is he? I hurriedly pulled out my phone and opened my transaction history. Look. Breakup money. The club's music was loud, smoke swirled, the air throbbed with a festive rhythm. Everywhere except our booth, where the air felt like it had frozen solid. After a long moment, Julian finally, with difficulty, spoke. You think this is breakup money? What else would it be? Money to buy a house. Haha, his dry laughter was cut short by his own darkening expression. There is one possibility. Julian took a deep breath, his eyes as cold and still as a dead lake. Was that really the money I gave you to buy a house? Seeing my clueless chicken face, he shut his eyes, gritting his teeth. Damn it, that was your birthday present. Julian was so angry he was silent the entire way home. I felt incredibly wronged too. Who asks such an important question when I'm half asleep, practically one step from falling off a cliff? Any normal person would think that. Do you want it? Asked in a voice full of desire, meant, may I enter? That, do you like it? Asked while panting heavily, was asking to be graded on performance. I had shyly consented and even gave him a high score, and now he was telling me he was actually, seriously, asking if I wanted to buy an apartment near my company as a birthday present. How ridiculous. So all those nights I spent biting my blanket and crying in agony, what were they for? Do they just count as proof I can stay up late? H City has 11 clubs, I staked them out, rotating through them every single night. I was terrified I'd run into you and at the same time, terrified I wouldn't. Oh, so he's pretty good at staying up late, too. Because someone complained I gained 2 kilos, I had to spend all day burning fat. It's exhausting. His voice was both resentful and mournful. Did someone refer to his white moonlight? That's quite the effort. I hope he doesn't just drop dead. My face was blank, I pulled the blanket over him. Then you should get some sleep. I'm leaving. I turned to go. Wait, he grabbed me. It's the middle of the night, where are you going? You seemed pretty eager when you registered your ID at the front desk earlier. Earlier was earlier. Now, just looking at you annoys me. I tried to pull free. My friend is drunk. I'm going to check on her. You don't need to worry about her. And why not? I opened the video feed from her. Oh, I really didn't need to worry. Maya's cheeks were bright red. And she was flanked on both sides by suggestively dressed handsome men. The guy on the right lifted his shirt. He wants to take my clothes off. First, finish this problem set. The guy on the left is already naked. He just handed me a whip. Big brother is too fierce. Not like me, I only know how to adore you. Just take all your stress out on me. One lash for every statute, okay? Julian abruptly ended the call and turned to look at me. You're into that. I snapped out of my daze. Oh, why didn't you say so earlier? He looked down, his voice laced with a strange, pitiful tone. I can learn, you know. Julian was clearly waiting for me to deny it, but I just nodded honestly. I'm starting to like it as of today. Julian gritted his teeth but finally relented. Fine, I'll learn, just don't get bored of me. Huh. Why did that sound so familiar? I racked my brain, and suddenly, a shocking suspicion hit me. No way, it couldn't be, I tentatively asked. How did you know I was in H City? He let out a very soft sigh and pulled me onto his lap. You silly girl. You really haven't figured it out yet. I froze, feeling my soul leave my body. The sky was falling. We had known each other that long ago. So all those messages I spammed him complaining about my youth, my family. The stray cats and dogs, Julian heard all of it. How else do you think I'd know? But you're the young master of the Shen family. Based on my years of reading overbearing CEO novels. All you had to do was wave your hand, order your secretary to find her, dead or alive, and that would be that. Am I a gangster? Julian couldn't hold back his laughter. His voice softening. Grace, the world is a very big place. If you truly wanted to leave, I would never have found you. It felt like a hand was squeezing my heart, a dull ache. These past few days, I've just been thinking, where did I go wrong? I've thought day and night, and I still can't figure it out. I knew I should be sincere and open in this warm moment, but instead I ruined the atmosphere. Julian, let's talk more tomorrow. You should sleep first. I'm genuinely afraid you'll drop dead. Julian looked down, his gaze falling on my short dress. The temperature in the room slowly began to rise. We can sleep tomorrow. First, we need to take care of business. The bow tied at the nape of my neck was gently undone. My chest was suddenly bare. I scrambled to cover myself, but he pinned both of my hands. Julian stared at me for a long time, then slowly lowered his head. A hot spark bloomed in my chest, traveling up my body to ignite my lips. His puppy dog eyes looked up at me intently, his gaze darkening with every inch. His voice was hoarse. Do you want it? Julian shifted his hips slightly. The meaning was perfectly clear, but I was terrified of another bizarre misunderstanding. I had to confirm it first. I used my finger to poke his erection. Are you talking about this? Julian froze for a split second, then finally burst out laughing, his warm breath tickling my ear. Yeah, a phone call cut him off. The desire in Julian's eyes vanished. He let me go. Isabel, don't panic, I'll be right there. Isabel, bye. His white moonlight. He said he could just nap on the plane. I was furious. I stubbornly dragged him back to the bed and forced him to close his eyes and rest. Wait until morning to leave. Today is my birthday. You have to listen to me. Julian hesitated for 2 seconds but ultimately complied, lying down and pulling me into his arms. Okay. I'll listen to you. I knew he couldn't rest easy all night. He was quiet but worried. She just completed her final surgery and returned to the country. She's not adjusting well, her emotions are unstable. I pulled up the airplane window shade, looked out at the sea of clouds, then turned back to him. Her final surgery. Julian nodded, then, as if realizing something, he raised an eyebrow at me. Jealous. No, love means always feeling indebted, but guilt isn't love. I understand all that. I just feel a little sad. Isabel had been the prima ballerina of a prestigious ballet company. 4 years ago, she finally got the chance to perform at the Bolshoi Theater in Moscow. It was the dream opportunity she had spent more than 10 years of hard work pursuing. But because of this, the mental pressure was immense. Her body reacted so violently she couldn't eat or sleep. As her longtime best friend, Julian couldn't bear to watch and insisted on taking her out to relax. But fate always strikes unexpectedly. At an intersection that supposedly had a 0% accident rate, a car lost control that day and sped straight toward Julian. In that life-or-death moment, Isabel pulled him toward her, raising her arm to shield him. The accident was brutal. No one was killed, but the price was Isabel's left arm. It was so severely damaged that she could no longer lift it. A swan with a broken wing. I met Isabel at Julian's house. Her eyes didn't rest on me. They passed over me as if I were air, looking directly at the space behind me. I want to eat the palmiers from the International Hotel. Okay. Julian agreed immediately. I'll have someone go buy them. No, I want you to buy them. Her words cut sharply into the conversation. The entire living room went silent for a moment. No problem. Julian nodded to the butler. Prepare a room. The butler glanced at me, hesitating slightly. Does Miss Zhang's room need to be changed? Oh, it seems the nice room overlooking the garden is already occupied. Julian wasn't surprised, his voice was calm. I meant my room. Grace will sleep with me. He gently squeezed my hand, then held it firmly. Come on, let's see if there's anything you want to eat. I didn't budge. I want to sleep for a while. I'm a little tired from playing last night. Julian's expression immediately darkened, his voice low and displeased. We will settle this with you later. 3 hours later, he returned with a huge pile of delicious food. Choose. I pointed directly at the bag of palmiers. I want that. Okay. But when he took them out, I realized he had bought 2 portions. What if she wants both portions? She can't eat that much. She'll have 1 bite at most. But what if she really does want both? Julian pulled up a chair across from me, opening the pastry as he spoke. Isabel's final surgery is complete. She should be able to live a normal life now. So you're finally released. He held a piece of pastry to my lips. Good. I chewed it. It's so sweet. Good. A faint smile touched Julian's lips. as he reached out to gently wipe the corner of my mouth. I do these things for her not just out of guilt, but because she's my best friend. But even so, even if she suddenly demanded both portions, I would never let what belongs to you go to someone else. The mistakes I've made in the past have nothing to do with you. You will never suffer any injustice because of them. Our relationship is just between the 2 of us. It doesn't involve anyone else. His sincerity was palpable. I pressed down on his hand, which had started to get mischievous. Okay. Okay, I get it. Now hurry up and bring this to her. Why are you kicking your boyfriend out? Julian said, clearly unhappy. He snatched the other half of the pastry from my hand, stuffed it in his mouth, and mumbled, no matter how close of friends they are, they shouldn't be staying in the same room. He called the butler, handed over the bag of pastries with a few instructions. After the door closed, he turned back to me, his eyes sharp. Now, tell me exactly what kind of tired you are. What exactly were you playing at before I found you? Although Julian had made his stance clear, I still couldn't stand her. Isabel continued to openly and blatantly make things difficult. Throughout dinner, Julian was incredibly busy, ladling soup, serving rice, and peeling blood clams. Blood clams. The kind you're just supposed to suck the juice from, and she was making him peel them. I immediately made a loud, textbook, perfect slurping sound as I ate one. Isabel's cheeks puffed out in annoyance, but she finally shut up. Later that night, the butler knocked on our door, looking extremely awkward. He stammered. Miss Bai would like the young master to visit her room for a moment. Julian was getting ready to shower. He nonchalantly replied. Tell her to message me on WeChat if she needs something. It's late. She should go to sleep. I didn't say a word, firmly refusing his invitation to shower together. The moment he stepped into the bathroom, I slipped out of the room. When Isabel opened her door and saw me, she couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. Couldn't sit still any longer. Huh. I nodded. Julian is starting to lose his patience. I shook my head. She clicked her tongue. Don't you have any personality at all? I thought for a moment. I'm a little sad. You should be sad. Isabel leaned against the doorframe. Stop holding it in. Go make a scene. Go confront him. Demand to know what I am to him. I calmly interrupted her. I'm sad because you're supposed to be the White Moonlight, Swan. Not taking on the script of the evil female side character, she was stunned. Huh. Back when I used to talk to S, he often mentioned Isabel. A ballot genius. A dazzlingly bright star. Because of him, that star had been extinguished. It's understandable that she became twisted and distorted, that her psyche was affected. But these childish tricks, which didn't actually hurt anyone, they only showed that she was putting all her effort into looking like she was putting in all her effort. I had deliberately stepped aside, wanting to see what scheme she was really planning, but it turned out she wasn't entangled with me at all. Every time she made a demand, her hands would unconsciously grip the hem of her clothes. Her eyes would dart away, avoidant. Her entire body was tense, like an introvert desperately pretending to be an extrovert, forcing herself to do things that didn't fit her personality. It always came across as awkward and unnatural. She was fixated, trying to force Julian to lose patience, to become completely sick of her. You don't have to do this. No matter how outrageously you act, you can't wear away his sense of responsibility. The only thing you'll erode is the friendship you've shared for so many years. In the end, he will still take care of you, but that care will become cold, transforming into a mere obligation. You don't want that to happen, do you? She remained silent. Bullseye. I let out a soft breath and said gently, if you truly want him to let go of his guilt, to feel completely relieved, the best way is to just live well and let him see it. Isabel smiled faintly. Did he send you here to say all this? No, he probably never would. She was silent for a long moment, then suddenly let out a soft chuckle. You look so naive. But you actually make some sense. For the past 2 years, I've told him countless times that I've let it go, that I have no regrets. But the more sincerely I said it, the heavier his expression became. I understood that feeling perfectly. Even I, a complete outsider, had felt so much vicarious regret for her that I'd lost sleep over it. Secretly checking my phone in the middle of the night for any news about her. So I could only imagine what it was like for Julian, who had grown up with her. Perhaps my pity was written too clearly on my face because she suddenly reached out and pinched my cheek. I've always known about you. During that long, hard summer. The only time Julian would smile, even a little, was when he was playing games with you. I lifted my head and watched her walk back into her room. The bag of palmiers was sitting on her table, completely untouched. After you said you wouldn't play anymore, he went quiet again like a walking corpse for a long time. Then he pretended nothing was wrong and started dating, flitting through relationships that lasted less than a month. He put on a big show of being a playboy for me, trying to prove he was living a normal life. It wasn't until he met you again, I was stunned. Julian was 2 years ahead of me in university. Ordinarily, our paths would never have crossed. One completely normal afternoon during my freshman year, I had just finished my session at the campus radio club. When I pushed open the door, I saw him sitting obediently outside, holding a basketball, waiting for me. Oh, a big dog. The thought just popped into my head. His bright, big dog eyes immediately followed me. The goodnight story, posted on the public account on October 1st, was that you reading it. Worried I'd made a mistake, I anxiously pulled out my phone to message the club president. But he just smiled, leaning in close. It was so good it killed me. I had heard of many reasons for falling for someone. But this was the first time anyone had confessed to me just because of my voice. Only now did I understand it wasn't because my voice was good. It was because that voice belonged to me. Isabel finished sending a few texts, then tilted her head to look at me intently. Aren't you afraid I'll try to drive a wedge between you two? For all you know, I'm texting Julian right now telling him you came here to bully me. I just smiled. Even if you did, Julian wouldn't believe you. That trust, they had it. And Julian and I had it too. Isabel sighed softly and put her phone away. That's really good. She paused, then continued. I've called a friend to pick me up. I don't want to stay here another second. It's much more comfortable being with friends. She was in such a hurry to leave, even in the middle of the night. I took a step into her room, looked up at her, and asked hopefully, if your arm recovers well, will you return to the stage? Probably not. This world moves too fast, I've already missed my prime. Her gaze lingered on my face, and she seemed to realize something. She quickly changed her tone. But now I can dance whenever I want. I'm not tied down anymore. I choose my own music, my own time, my own place. Actually, I've started learning to paint recently, and it's quite interesting. The night breeze gently rustled the curtains. Isabel stood by the window. Her silhouette so delicate and beautiful it seemed to embody perfection. She would never know that 4 years ago, there was a girl who was moved to her very core by her persistent pursuit of her dreams, and by her strength and effort to recover. Suddenly, my heart felt incredibly light. This was wonderful. The person who had once been a distant white moonlight in my heart turned out to truly be a clear and gentle moon. I smiled softly. I wish you all the best. Before I could even fully process my emotions, I turned around and froze in shock. Julian was leaning against the wall, wearing only his bathrobe. I had no idea how long he'd been standing there. Just as I was about to speak, he shook his head slightly and raised a finger to his lips in a shushing gesture. I immediately clamped my mouth shut and quietly followed him back to our room. The second the door closed, I anxiously grabbed him. That's outrageous. How could you eavesdrop? How much did you hear? He ignored my frantic questions, his voice lazy. Not much, just the part about, you're even more beautiful than I imagined, and can I have your contact information, and what kind of painting are you learning? He smirked. Hafe. I never expected. You run off to flirt with my friend, and you're more honest with her than you've ever been with me. My face turned bright red. I did not. Why are you getting jealous of my friend? She's that amazing, am I not allowed to be friends with her? How does that affect you? Grace. Julian interrupted me softly. His usual teasing tone was completely gone. He was being very serious. I paused. He looked at me, enunciating every word clearly. Thank you, thank you. Before I even had time to wonder why, he abruptly changed the subject. But, I still have to be jealous. My waist was suddenly pulled tight. His voice whispered right next to my ear, his tone amused but unreadable. And as for that little partying debt you racked up, you're going to have to pay me back in full. What's the lesson here? Never use CEO novel logic in real life. A vague text and a giant bank transfer might feel like a dramatic breakup, but it could just be your boyfriend being spectacularly bad at giving birthday presents. Before you block his number, quit your job and spend your severance pay. Partying with models, maybe just send one text back. Thanks for the cash. Are we breaking up? Communication isn't just key, it's the whole damn castle. It could save you from weeks of heartbreak and a very awkward, very public reunion.